Hey everybody, Steve Matthews, TPI Certified Fitness Professional, coming to you with a sample golf fitness workout. I'm going to start this workout by doing a handful of static or still stretches. I'm then going to move to a more of a dynamic warm-up style where I'm moving through drills that help me improve my mobility, and then I'm going to work on some strength training drills at the end of the workout. For the first exercise, you're going to need a vertical surface like a wall. I'm going to use the rig or the rack so I can talk to you, but we're going to call a wedge calf stretch. I'm going to put my toe up high, my heel is going to wedge down into the floor, and I'm going to create a stretch in the back of my calf. From here, the common mistake I see is people bring their head forward. They don't feel that too much. But if I bring my pelvis or my hip forward, I start to feel that a lot more down through the lower part of my calf or my soleus. So I'm going to hold this for roughly 30 seconds. In today's workout, I'm going to work out through the entire thing with you. So I want you to, I'm going to actually hold it for the requisite amount of time. So I'm holding, as I feel good with this, I can start inching forward a little bit more, inching forward a little bit more, and try to, again, feel that stretch a little bit. Some of you might be way back here and you'll still feel that stretch, but some of you are going to be leaning into it, bringing the hip forward and feeling that calf stretch. Okay, roughly 30 is up, so I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to my left side. I'm going to get my toe high, my heel down. And again, many of you might not have this, but you have a wall or another surface you could use. So I'm going to set that stopwatch and get that clock going. And I'm just holding simply into that stretch. And I'm leaning into it a little more. Again, leaning into my pelvis, not my head. I'm staying back and I'm feeling that stretch a little bit better. And we're going to shake that out a little bit. So calves being more mobile and stretched out can really bring out benefits later in the workout. The next one is called a standing prayer stretch with one arm. I'm going to reach my hand over my head. I'm going to lean over at the waist, and I'm going to keep reaching that up the wall or up the rack. And I'm going to try to start to feel that in my lat or my upper back muscle. Some of you might feel it up here through the tricep as well, but as long as I'm getting it down through here. Some of you will be able to slide a little lower and work down into that. Some of you that might not feel great. I'm just going to hold this. I've had success with people turning their hand up like that handshake position to hold this also, to feel that differently. So depending on where you keep holding, depending on where your hand position is, you'll feel that stretch differently in the lat or the tricep or somewhere in this region. We're going to move to the other side now. So let's get to the other side again, palms down or handshake grip. And I'm going to kind of lean into that. And I'm going to hold this as a standing prayer stretch. So again, today we're holding all our stretches about 30 seconds in this mini workout. At home, you could hold them longer, but if you're following along with me, it's roughly 30 seconds today. So we're only going to do those still or static stretches one time through. I'm now going to move to some mobility drills or dynamic warm-ups. So from here, I'm going to get, if I need a mat or ab mat or a stretching mat, I can have that down the floor. I'm going to move called a bird dog diagonal. A bird dog diagonal is done in an all fours position with an opposite arm, opposite leg, reach and raise. So I'm going to reach my right hand forward in a handshake position as I extend my left heel towards the wall behind me. I'm going to find that balance, and I'm going to alternate sides. So I'm holding it briefly, bringing it back in. Pushing through the heel, reaching, reaching, reaching. I am working the balance on this as well. For some of you, it's going to feel easy. If that feels really easy, you can bring those knees in together a little bit, and you can try same side arm, same side leg. This becomes much more challenging for most people, but I find if I bring my knees in more, a little square, it gives me a little advantage there, and then I widen them out as that improves. So I'm going to have you do about 10 alternating bird dogs here. From here, we're going to call it a thoracic elbow to elbow or a thoracic rotation. Right hand to the head, right elbow to left elbow. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to try to keep my hips relatively square here. I'm going to try to turn my upper body as much as possible. Keep going on that. So we're going to want to try to get as much reach as we can, and each time we're going to try to go up a little further, a little further. Then towards the end, we should be on 8, 9, or 10 here. I'm going to try to hold that a little bit. And shake that out and switch sides. So switch now. Going elbow to elbow with an opening. With an opening. Trying to keep those hips square. So what I mean by that is a lot of times people try to get further by kind of opening themselves up through the middle. I want to stay locked in the middle and get as much turn as I can get through the thoracic or the mid-back. So we did the thoracic on each side. From there, we're going to call it a kneeling step out. You might want a pad or mat for this. I'm going to grab this. This is called a rogue ab mat. I'm going to take a knee on the mat, head up, chest up. I'm going to step forward. My hip flexor stretches, I get some balance in that, and I get some adductor or groin on the lead leg side. If this went really well, my progression is going to be step out and turn, step out and turn. If you're just figuring out how to get the balance down, I don't need you turning just yet. We are going to alternate and step. A little harder than it looks, a little more balance involved, a lot of, we'll call it mobility to get that hip up and around. All right, we're doing about 10 to 20 of these. From there, we would do everything starting over in the second round again. So I'm going to do that bird dog diagonal reach. I'm going to do that thoracic elbow to elbow. So for the sake of time, I'm not going to go through all of that again. And then the step outs. So 2 rounds of the middle. All right, and then it's going to get to our strength round. So our lower body should be feeling pretty warmed up by then. We're going to hopefully have a bench or a chair or something you can sit to. I'm going to do it next. It's called we're going to call it a single leg squat or a pistol progression. So some of you might need a riser on that because we're going to do a single leg squat. So I'm going to break this down into different variations. The first easiest variation is going to be sit with both legs, sit back, kick a foot up, and try to stand up with just one side. Sit all the way down, lean over, shift, kick, stand up with one leg. See how I want to go into the middle? I want to try to stay out. That was not a great example. Squat, stand up. If that goes well, we can try shifting, kicking, and then sitting back towards it and standing up all on itself. Shifting, sitting, standing up all on itself. If that goes well, I ditch my pad, I shift, I kick, and I sit lower. If you're very mobile and you feel comfortable trying this, this can be done without anything behind you. So I'm going to shift, I'm going to kick, and I'm going to sit as low as I can handle. I'm going to shift, I'm going to kick, and I'm going to sit as low as I can handle. All right, so my range is not great on that, but I was willing to try it out. So we're going to alternate 20 of those. So shift, kick, sit, and stand. Shift, kick, sit, and stand. If the alternating doesn't work for you, you can do them straight-sided, and you can do less repetitions. From there, so we did our 10 to 20. We're going to grab dumbbells if we have them. If you don't have weights, that's okay. I'm going to do a stiff leg deadlift variation. So stiff leg deadlift, stiff legs, no bend, butt back, hinging, lowering, standing up tall, head up, chest up. Big proud chest. When I get lazy on this, I tend to lean over at my torso, just like most people do. Bad news there. I want to be tall, big chest, big hinge, and stand that up. 10 of those. If that went really well, I want a harder challenge. I'm going to do a shift, lean, and lean, and stand that back up. I'm doing the same drill, just on one leg. I don't like alternating legs on this. I like staying straight-sided. So 10 and 10 on that one. All right, from there, last group, last exercise in the group. Ideally, I have dumbbells. If I'm in a fitness center or gym, I can use the dumbbells there. If I have them at home, great. If I don't, we're gonna show you how to modify it. Dumbbells to the shoulders. Exercise 1, strict press. No leg drive, just pressing overhead. On these overheads, I like going behind my ears and opening up that lat once again. So overhead. If this goes well, I'm going to do a little bend, drive, and push. It's called a push press. Bend, drive. So I get a little more power off the ground. I use my legs in my middle, and I finish with the upper body. If that went really well, the last one in the group is called a push jerk or a power jerk, depending on who you read it by. I'm going to bend, I'm going to come up with them, and I'm going to get underneath them. So I'm going to bend, up underneath, and stand those up. Bend, up underneath, stand those up. So that helps me work on that hip extension, midline stability, and shoulder and overhead stability as well. So that part, we'll do 3 rounds. 20 alternating single leg squats. 10 stiff leg deadlift variation, or 10 each side if I'm doing the single leg. I can add weight to that as well. 10 shoulders to overhead, strict press, push press, or push jerk. Push jerk. Give that a shot. Send me a message or leave a comment. I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have. Again, Steve Matthews from Wellbeing.